three senses together work to build your entire balance complex. Like all of your balance and your patient's balance is built on those three systems. How do we challenge those systems? Somatosensory is constantly challenged. Even in sitting, quiet sitting, if I sit on my sit bones, also known as what? Ischial tuberosities, okay? If I sit here, I'm getting somatosensory feedback, specifically through my trunk, into my upper thoracic cervical spine. It's subtle. Like you can't see a lot of it. But if a person can't do that for, say, 0 to 1 minute, or 1 to 2 minutes, or greater than 3 minutes, right? Remember the grading? That's how we know. They're like, I just can't sit up that long. I'm tired. That's somatosensory right there. That means the body is fatiguing. The muscle spindles are fatiguing. And so what they need is they need support. So they will lean back in their chair or into the armrest and they will say, I'm going to have some rest. That means they can't do that. That means they can't do this. Somatosensory is a constant. It doesn't go away. So good question. Well, your examples are anything that makes the surface unstable. So the hard floor is not an unstable surface. You have to bring in a tool. Same thing with sitting. You have to bring in, and this is the most common way of doing it right here. This is about the only way you can unstabilize sitting. Now, there are others. If I sit someone on a plinth right here, they're not on an unstable surface, but their feet are off the floor. That to me makes it dynamic. Does that make sense? Because the best way to staticize sitting is to have both feet on the floor and hands separated, giving support. But the second you bring the feet off the floor, like when sitting them on the plinth, right here, that's dynamic. Why is it dynamic? Because now the trunk has to help with balance. They may not be able to stay that way, right? We're getting into really in-depth things here about balance. You can document, though, dynamic seated balance by sitting a patient on a plinth with feet off the floor. Or you can sit a patient on an exercise ball. What do you call these? Air ball, Swiss ball. I've heard Swiss ball a lot. Exercise ball. Pretty generic to say exercise ball. But that works. When you sit them on here, though, this is dynamic because the support surface is not stable. That's what you got to go to. But if I take their feet off the floor, I've limited their base of support. That makes it unstable. Right?
Can you give an example of a dynamic reactive balance while standing?
Let's first describe anticipatory and reactive. These two terms, they come from your book. Anticipatory is internal. Anticipatory is internal. Reactive is external. So let's say Sky brings a group of balloons. Sky, I'm going to look.